Oh, good day. I'm just taking a moment to collect myself. Just after having a cup of coffee, in fact. And try not to really drink much coffee. But I did have a cup of coffee because I was getting up and going to do some stuff, and going to catch up with someone. And it turns out that, that's cancelled. Turns out that was never going to be happening. Just find that, people are all over the place. They don't really know whether they're Arthur or Martha, coming or going, already been. They forget themselves. And normally, I find if I've got my sphere of influence. I'm contained. This is what I can contain here. You see, this is my reach. You see, and this is still a lifelong thing as well, is to be honing in on your sphere of influence and not letting other people mess your sphere of influence. So it's the thing about doing what you say. So I'm just having a bit of a moment about or a moment for coming back to stillness, coming back to peace, with a particular kind of focus, because I just had this cup of coffee. I'm like really ready to go, So that's accentuated, of course. I'm not so much like that, but I mean I can play the role. I'm a pretty lively bloke, at times. That's part of the endearing charisma about me, I'm sure. However, I do have something serious to say here because as I come and just take a bit of time for myself, and I'm thinking, well, what's the issue? Because I was asked, it sounded like I was upset or hurt or something. I'm like, no, well, I'm not. It's just, I'm not messing around anymore, sort of. I just come forward going, right, okay, so it turns out that our plans aren't happening. Okay, right, well, right, okay, no worries. Well, what I might do is I might just get on with my day then, okay? I might not even sort of continue messing around, fluffing about on the phone, okay? So, all right, have a good day then, cheerio. And then just sitting with that, thinking like, well, hang on, was that a bit short or what was that? Was I upset or was I a bit angry or a bit frustrated or anything? And it's more like, no, so sitting with it, you see, this is what we've got to do. We've got to sit with it, you see, and find ourselves, find out how we actually feel. And the only way we can do that is to be with ourselves quietly. Quietness is one thing, stillness is another thing. So sitting with that and to have an opportunity to do that. Anytime that you're having a cup of coffee, or people they want to go have a cup of coffee, or they want to go have a cigarette, or they want to go have a biscuit, or want to have a cup of tea, whatever the people want to do. People have got all kinds of things they want to go and do. They want to go and mop the floor, whatever, whatever, water the garden, whatever it is. It's a thing about taking time to center yourself, to still yourself, reset, go away from something in order to come back to it again, you see? So it's a good thing. Just try and keep it a bit healthy habit or a healthy lifestyle at least. Do whatever you want to do in life, but harm none, including yourself. That's an old pagan, I think. I don't know if they had including yourself. I just threw that on the end, but I'm sure they probably did. I don't think they'll get on. But anyway, so that's pertinent what I just said. As a digression, because that's sort of what we're getting to. So I really try not to be treading on other people's toes and imposing in any way like that. You see, so I find I'm very sensitive and. Like I am a bit of a snag. I do admit that. I never liked the term, but I do accept that I am a bit of a snag these days. I'm a sensitive new age guy. So I'm sensitive to what people need and what they want to do and what they don't want to do and what they realise they want and what they don't realise they want and what they think they want and what they don't think they want and what they think they know and what they don't think they know and what they're sure they know and what they just don't have a bloody clue about and all of that kind of stuff. I'm pretty flowing and accepting and easy with it all. I'm very sensitive to it, you see. Because what we actually want, we just want harmonious human relationships. We are human, despite what we might think of ourselves. We're social creatures, and social dynamics and interaction are very important to us. So we want them to be harmonious. Even with people that we think that we hate. What is hate really? Do we really hate anyone? Do we know what hate is? I mean, and if it is, like, how do we get to that point? Can we backtrack and reverse engineer how we got to the stage of hate and, undo that hate and come back to what our natural state is? Love, acceptance, consideration, social connection, interaction, autonomy of itself, sharing, self-supporting, self-nourishing by sharing and including and putting another before self, that kind of stuff, So what I'm trying to get across is there's one thing about stillness and quietness, to find out who we really are and what's going on for us and what we want, what we don't want, and how we feel in the moment and what we think about something and what we think about how we feel and how we feel about what we think. We have this lower self-consciousness is talking to you right now, has all these observations, you see, about the universe that I'm in, the world that I'm living in. And then there's this higher self that is ideally would be the one talking to you right now, but unfortunately, I think this lower self's the one that's taken the microphone. There's a higher self that can develop these opinions about the observations that this lower self that's talking to you right now makes about the world that this lower self's living in. Then that higher self can have these opinions, you see. And those opinions, therefore, are carried with feelings and thoughts, paradigms, perceptions, attitude. They're all sort of different things that all come into one and the same, you see. And that throws us into a hell of a pickle. We basically tie ourselves into a 5-knotted special kind of knot. And people tend to generally do, no matter how smart they are, when they come across a knot that they can't get undone, they pull the bloody thing tighter. That's what we tend to do to ourselves. The same as intelligent people. The more intelligent people, statistically, stay up later, even though they know they need to go to sleep and get a good night's sleep. Then they still stay up later, so they only get like 5 hours sleep. They stay up later reading and doing whatever. So that's in that kind of realm of this human interaction, which we're all doing the same thing. We're trying to accept each other and all of this kind of stuff, okay? So let's just have a moment of stillness. We can just take a breath in. Close your eyes, sit up straight so your head's suspended from heaven, vertebrae pearls on golden string. Your hips are sitting and feel like they're a pot that a plant is growing out of. The spine's relaxed, the breath comes naturally deep down into the belly, below the belly button. Can you find stillness there? Just let the breath come out naturally and then suck in naturally, without any effort. And just quieten the mind. Gently bring your attention down to the tip of your nose. Just hold your attention there. Be aware that the breath is coming in and out of the nose. Keep the mouth shut. Be aware that the breath is coming in and out of the nose. And just gently keep your attention there. Embrace the serenity of the dogs barking in the background. The living universe. The Tao. The rhythm of life. Let the breath come in and out gently. Hollow chest down into the belly without any effort. Attention just sits there on the end of the nose. It's not doing anything, it's not going anywhere, it just is. By its very nature of accumulating and sitting there without focus, it's accumulating more and more power all the time. As the mind becomes more still, as the lungs become more still, there's no effort. The lungs don't need to have any effort to draw the breath in and to breathe in and out, to respire. Just is. Allow it to be. Allow it to flow. Allow the shoulders to drop. Allow the neck to relax. Allow the chin to soften. Allow the chest to hollow. Allow the hips to relax, soothe. Allow the breath to come in deep. Allow the breath to go out completely. Allow the breath to come in deep. Allow the breath to leave the body completely. Allow the breath to come in deep. Allow the mind to quieten. Allow the mind to settle. Allow the thoughts to settle. Allow the thoughts to ease, and vaporize, evaporate, disassociate, disintegrate. Allow thoughts to float away like smoke, settling like dust, falling like rain, soothing, cooling. Allow the mind to cease the noise. Allow the mind to let go. Allow the mind to have a chance of its own peace. Allow the mind the freedom to let itself go. Feel the light in the heart. Feel the light in the belly. Feel the light in the groin. Feel the light in the lower back. Feel the light in the middle back. Feel the light in the upper back. Feel the light at the base of the neck. Feel the light at the base of the head. Feel the light at the base of the crown, the skull. Feel the light at the top of the crown, the skull. Feel the light at the top of the head. Feel the light in the forehead. Feel the light between the eyes. Feel the light behind the nose. Feel the light at the tip of the nose. Feel the light between the nose and the top lip. Feel the light at the tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. Feel the light in the base of the throat. Feel the light in the center of the chest. Feel the light in the stomach. Connect that light to the light in the heart. Connect that light in the heart to the light in the top of the head. Connect that light in the top of the head to the light at the base of the spine. Connect that light in the base of the spine to the center of the earth. Connect that light, the top of the head, to the center of the universe. Find symmetry between them. Two extremes exist only within ourselves, as we are the balance. It is a tension between the two extremes that allow us to exist. The same as a tension between the two hemispheres of the brain allow the universe to exist. Allow the mind to settle. Allow there to be quietness. If there's discomfort, allow there to be discomfort. If there's sadness, allow there to be sadness. If there's grace, allow there to be grace. If there's joy, allow there to be joy. If there's anger, allow there to be anger. If there's pain, allow there to be pain. If there's grief, allow there to be grief. If there's hatred, allow there to be hatred. If there's resentment, allow there to be resentment. If there's jealousy, allow there to be jealousy. If there's weakness, allow there to be weakness. If there's vengeance, allow there to be vengeance. If there's love, allow there to be love. We feel we can allow love easily, deep in our hearts, in the hearts of our hearts, in the hearts of the hearts of the heart. We can allow love. Love expands through all the rest. And there we are. Feel the stillness. Feel the quiet. All right. That gives you a bit of a warm-up into it. That brings you back here and now, right? So you got control over yourself. So I got control over myself. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is hear the dogs in the background. I wanted to give you something with the meditation. So you got stillness and quietness. And there's a meditation to be able to get you there. Okay, now there's also Qi Gong, which is an ancient art, as is meditation, as is Kung Fu, as is Tai Chi. These martial arts are relatively new, 1,200, 1,500 years old, the ones I practice anyway. Qi Gong is thousands and thousands of years old. It's the old ways. It's what we are, it's what we're made of. Now, what we practice is to make ourselves strong. We're warriors. We have strength, and we cultivate strength, and we develop knowledge, understanding of the living universe from which we were born, so that we can interact with that living universe in peace and harmony and grace, without creating disharmony. Everywhere we go, the world is making room, and everyone in the world is making room for us and welcoming us and accepting us to exist and to thrive, because we do not bring any conflict with us anywhere that we go. Now, it might be on occasion that in our lives, every now and then, once in a blue moon or once every 3 or 4 blue moons, we might have some conflict come up, arise, and be in our face. There it is. And it's offering us, it's a great gift, and it's all, you can argue this, but you can't prove me wrong. It's all predestined. That it came right at that specific second in your life. You'd been living your entire life up to that point for that to happen with that person. And it's choice all the way through. So I had something like that happen recently, with a particular flavour and a particular nature with particular people. And I dealt with it in the right way. But part of that, just the way that these guys did, and they hung themselves, you give them enough rope to try and unhang themselves and to help themselves to, help me, help you kind of thing. But then the way they acted ended up that the police had to charge them with assault, even without me doing anything, because we got laws in this country, and it's a great country, it's a great land, and we do have these laws that mean that we're protected. Our civil liberties are protected, and I'm very big on civil liberties. So, and I'm quite often at odds with the Queensland Police Service, and I'm quite frequently emailing the police minister or officers in charge of different police stations, and being what they might call in this country a pain in the proverbial, but I'm a consistent pain in the proverbial, and I get results because there's legislation in place that means that they have to listen to me and they have to do something about it. So we're changing this world for a better place. Now, I've got to say, there's one thing I want to say. This is a side note, that the Queensland Police Service, in all their flaws and all their hopelessness, the same as the Australian Federal Police, in all their structure and bureaucratic flaws and they're hopeless, and all the other institutions and authorities and organisations, and they do make this place a very good place to live, and they keep this place being a very good place to live. And having done a lot of work with drug rehab my whole life, then it's a lot better place out there right now than what it has ever been in my life. So there's a lot of good people out there doing a lot of good things every day as their everyday life and their job. But there are a lot of people out there, well, there's a few people out there that are not doing a good enough job, and they're bringing the rest of them down. They're like a dragnet. You don't really need that big a dragnet on a vessel. Doesn't matter how big the vessel is. Then you've got a dragnet. Once it reaches a certain scale, then it's having an effect on that vessel, and it's throwing it off course, and it's wasting resources. So the Queensland Police do have some people like that in there, which I've been getting on to them. But in this case, what I'm saying about them is they've been very good in following up. If you try and work with them and go, like, what do you reckon we should do about this situation? Because there's a bit of an issue here in the community that's sort of just come up, and I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want to shut this whole thing down, but I wouldn't mind. Like, we need to work out how to do it. This is what I do. You go to the police, say, like, how do you reckon we should do it? And then the sergeant in charge says, well, okay, well, let's go down and just sort of work out what's going on around about everything, and then we'll go in there and have a conversation. But they told me expressly to stay out of it, get out of it. That's it, done now. I'm not to go. Like anyway, so that's what I'm doing, and we've sorted that out. But then there's still this. There's been a few well, I don't know, but there's still been a couple of problems arisen from there. There's still some energy. Let's say there's still some energy that it's sort of, I can feel it because I'm a bit of a snag, you see. I'm sensitive, right? So I can feel it. So I've just sort of, when I come into certain areas, I come into the city and I go to certain areas, there's like one particular area that I'll stay away from, just so that there's no chance of a disharmony, you see. And that can be a bit like, well, why should I have to stay away from that? Well, I'm doing the right thing. I'm being the change and being a good example. I'm not breaking any laws. I'm not doing anything that's socially out of order. And you've got these people that, they're a bit psychopathic, and so they're by themselves. They've gone and gotten themselves into trouble with the police, and they haven't got themselves in enough trouble, you see. So they're still they're still holding this energy and everything, So what you can feel basically is we got all kinds of stuff going on, and what I see through these eyes. I see the world is evolving. Humanity is evolving, big time. We've got a lot of solar activity. We've got all kinds of stuff going on in the natural world. That means that we are evolving. We're being updated, upgraded, and we're evolving. We're coming together. We're working it all out. But also, there's certain very strong elements going on out there in the natural world. And you just look at it through astrology, for instance, that we really have to look at our shadow side, our own shadow side, in the micro scale as the individual, and then collectively as the macro scale. Now the thing is that we've also got this kind of retrograde. We're kind of going backwards at the same time as we're having to look at our own shadow side. You see, so we end up being quite potentially dangerous and volatile. So that's why I'm sort of going to length to sort of try and say something here, because it's a sensitive topic that we all have inside ourselves, and myself included. So I'm using this circumstance that I found myself just going, well, I don't want to waste my time. I've just found that my time's been wasted, because I make sure that my mind is centered before I go out there and interact with people. So I'm not imposing, I'm not messing people around and all that. And I find that people are all over the place, and they know everything, and they're so sure about stuff, and they want to control everything, and they just create this whole kerfuffle. And so I found myself drawn into that with a few different people, being in the city, you see. It was like, everyone's mad. They're running around mad. All these people think that they're in control of themselves and their life and all of this, and they know stuff already. It's not what I don't know that's the problem. It's what I already know. That I know for sure. I don't need to second check my mind. I don't need to double check and reference that and have any point of reference around me to go, here's some perspective. Am I possibly mistaken, or did I miss something, or is there something I didn't see, or have things changed? No, I just bulldoze my way through it because I know. So that's the thing, like, well, and so I've found like I don't really feel like I'm very agitated or frustrated or upset or disappointed or anything. So I'm happy with myself for that. But it's like I just wondered if I was a little bit short with someone to go, no, look like, well, basically what I was just saying, I'm not fucking around anymore. Excuse my use of the French language there. Well, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm just not wasting my time with this. I'm sorry. Like, I like talking to you. We're having a very pleasant conversation, but actually, well, I just see that, I've just spent 2.5 hours. It's just now effectively being wasted. So I'm getting on with my day. So sit with a place of a healthy detachment, and you can find that you can be impartial and equanimous to things without having emotional responses or relationships to them. So there's a feeling that comes with it still, and the feeling is the quiet, is calm, and acceptance. Acceptance is it is what it is, 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 what it is. Same when you flip it around to coulda, shoulda, was gonna, but didn't. It is what it is, what it is. Okay, get over it. Move on. There's no energy to be wasted about having a relationship to that, or having an opinion about it, or making a judgment about it, or having these ideas about how things should be, and then how you feel about how it is that it's not that, and all of this kind of stuff is irrelevant. It's only something that's relevant and meaningful because we make meaning to it in the moment, and we just tie ourselves up like a pretzel in our mind, in our spirit, in our heart, and in our body, and then we just sit there like that. Like a big turd that's going crusty out in the sun. And one that somebody's done because they're walking somewhere home at 5 o'clock in the morning from being out all night, and suddenly they've got to go, so they slip into your garage and just up your driveway and get in your back shed, and there's this heavy breathing real early in the morning just outside up to the door, and you wake up, what the bloody hell is that? And you grab your belt out of your pants and you're thinking, it's on now, really go, what is there, someone outside there with a sword or a machine gun, or, what are they carrying, a bloody big heavy rocket launcher or something, what's all that heavy breath? And you find that there's like someone's laid a snapper outside there. One of those kind of ones that's going dry in the sun, getting all crusty, and it just stinks, and it's like it's imposing. It's imposing. That's what offensive is, it's imposing and offensive on other people. That's what we are. That's what we have in our spirit. And we're walking around like that, making other people put up with us and having to interact with us like that. So I'm very careful not to be doing that these days, because I've been guilty of being that for a lot in my life, you see. And so I don't want to be like that. And still then, when you get things come up that sometimes there's just this conflict rises up, and it's a test for us to how to respond. So there's actually been 4 occasions, you see, where I could have just easily just gone, what? Like that, basically. How long does it take for my hand to pass in front of the camera? So how long does that take? So let's go like that. So basically that much time. So let's go times 4, okay? So we go 1, 2, 3, I think that's 5 there. So anyway, in that much time, I could have just maimed these people. Well, it was really only just 2 people. But anyway, you get the point, right? So that's what the martial arts can do for you. And the attitude. But that would have meant that I lost. That would have meant that I'm not a civilized person. That would have meant that all the training and all the challenges and all the adversities and trials and tribulations and tests, all the passing of all the tests that I've had in my life, because it's not done until it's done, you see, so the lesson's still there, so you never really fail. The only time you ever fail is if you don't even try, and then the lesson's still waiting there for you until it's done, you see, so you never fail. So you pass your test. If you're still alive today, right now, and you managed to get your pants on this morning, and you're watching this, then you passed all the tests so far. Otherwise, those tests are still there for you. You haven't failed them. They're still there for you to pass. You don't get a fail with it. It's you're either competent and you passed it and you've assimilated, integrated, and understood it, or you haven't. That's what it's about. So when it comes to practical application, and it might come into conflict, which can develop to such a state of animosity that it becomes violent, then the counter-offence is that still that point. See, there's no defence in martial arts of practice. So the counter-offence is still to not hurt the person, ideally. Is to not maim them and dismember them. And then when you're getting into these points, you know, when it comes to combat, martial arts and hand-to-hand combat and survival situations, self-defense, someone's trying to hurt you or mug you or kill you or rape you or something like that, then it's a lot easier to kill someone than it is to just knock them out, you see. So you just let it go. Or, like, I'm trying to pull them back, just let it go, you see. Chum pops out, just let it go. See, let it go, it comes away, see? See, the hit is here, and then it comes back up there, you see? But if I'm trying to just trying to knock it out, see, it's like I'm pulling back hard, but just let it go. You see, just let it go. If I'm pulling back, I see even my head's moving. If I'm pulling back, so I just want to knock them out. I don't want to kill them. I just want to knock them out. But if someone's trying to kill me, they're finished. Show's over. They got brains, boom, 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 back and forth. See what the knob's doing up there? That's what the brain's doing inside the skull. Plus, you're getting this compression down on the neck, you see. Right, so that's what you got. Now, if you're walking around with two hammers in your hand, would you be afraid of anyone? Well, if you go like that, you make a pistol grip, right? Bang, 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 he shot me down. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down. Right, so you go like that, and then you tuck this one in like here, and then so that becomes hard, you see what I'm saying, right? And then you get that one there, and you lock it down, right? So that's called a Bill Sow fist. It's a bird's eye fist. Yes, little Frazzle, sweetheart, my baby. We're going to go outside in the sunlight. I was trying to get to something with that. Right, so you got that. Now, so you can hear like here, and then you can have a turn around, so you can collect the throat, right? And you can collect the side here. Now, you're only going to hit hard and soft. So I think that's hard. Now, if you're going to hit somewhere hard, you're going to hurt yourself, so you're not listening to what I'm saying. So if you want to defend yourself, then you hit to the soft parts of the body. Like into here, here, straight in, or come across, and then, or in between the ribs, right? So there's some self-defense for you. Now, if you go turn upward circle, turn, the elbow comes in, right? So it comes down like that. But the hand goes in upward circle, turns around and comes down, and you catch, right? So you go upward circle, turn down. Hand goes up, turns circle as the elbow kicks in, snap. So the hand goes up, turns the circle, comes straight down, and you catch that. Catch it before impact, but it feels like you catch after impact. Take a long time. You want to take 6 months to very gently condition that up. You know, like just very slow, gentle conditioning, okay? Right, so that's what you want to be doing. And then the other thing is I'll stand up. Now we got your hand and your guard. So we go, please, I don't want to fight. I don't want to be fighting with you. Please. Right? So there's one thing. And if you need to fight, you have soft hands. So if you need to protect yourself, then your hand's soft so you can collect their hand, turn aside, step back, and then snap. Right? So that movement of that, see that's snap there because I turn my hips. you see? So you get that snap. So that hand's going this way over there like that. And then where my elbow is holding the camera here right now. So I turn my hips and I go this way and then the hand snap, right? So then the other hand, which is holding the camera, comes high. I'm looking for the other hand by going towards the face. So I just point to the eyes. I catch the hand, I turn it over this way, and then this one's over here, and it comes snap. You see? I'm going to do that a bit better. So turn, snap. See? So turn, step back, turn, snap. So if you see my hand's over here now, you see? So what's going on? I'll see if I get it. Here, turn, draw it back, and snap. Turn it back, snap. Turn it back, snap. You see how there's this movement of the hips, basically. So whatever's going on here, you see how the hand is moving with the movement of the hips, okay? See, so it can even just be like that. As the hips move, the hands move. You see what I'm saying? That's all you need to do. Just that much movement. See, that is taking somebody's throat out of their body. For real? You want to see it for real? Then it's like this. Yeah. There, throat gone. See? Take the hand back over there. Protect the face. Draw it down here. Down, bang. Yeah. Yeah. Like that. Oh, hang on. I need to protect myself. There. Yeah. Like that, you see? Right, so you got that. Now the other thing is, if you're going to zoom out, so you got to protect yourself. Now this one's called Chop Sao, Tai Sao, Pok Sao. It's Qigong, but it's Kung Fu. Okay. Fire down on 45 degrees. Breathe in deep, hollow chest, in your belly. Take a stance where you're sitting one foot in front of the other, like on a bar stool, right? So you're sitting like this, and then you flick it out 45 degrees. From there, you pick up one finger to thumb and each finger coming up like this. So you go 1, breathe it in, 2, breathe in, 3, 4, 5. From there, right? And then you do Gok Sao, which is Gok. From there, and you're holding it like this, and release. Right? So the other variation, practicing in the Kung Fu, the internal martial arts, once you build up to it, is you got your Chop Sao, and then see it turn, yeah! From there, breathe it in. 1, 2, and you see it doing it, that makes a ginger fish, see? So that's there, 4. So when you go here, what? You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah! Do it again. Chop Sao. Breathe it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Like that. But keep your mouth shut. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shut. 1, 1, 1, 1. One. I'll say it 1. 1. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. All becomes 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. Like that. Keep your mouth shut though. Mouth shut. See? So I do that with a step. That was just 2 pinch steps forward, you see. So I do that movement. Off the back foot, 2 pinch steps forward on the other foot. Back hand, back foot. Watch. See? Do it again. See? So I'm covering a meter there, right? So I'm traveling a meter. So I'm going. See, so my hand is traveling a meter. So it's only a meter away from me. They come in and make the attack. They step into me. I cut the attack. Bring it up, draw the hand up. So their hand here, that's snatching their hand out of the way, using their own energy, 200%, and smack! Taking 2 steps with, you see? And you're always going to get second hit with that one, see, because you're going to chop sow, tay sow, gok sow, pok sow. So there's the backhand, you see. So you can take the other backhand the other way and bang. But even if you go just to chop sow, tay sow, gok sow, if you go pok sow and you're coming forward and you just hit them again, then chances are that second pok sow is going to rattle them. Even if their hand's still in between it, see, that it's going to rattle them. And when you get that rattle, then that gives you time, you see. So you hit them again. Hit him again, hit him again, hit him again. See? It's the same thing. Chop sow, tay sow, gok sow, pok sow, pok sow, pok sow, pok sow, pok sow. You see? There's no coming back. You know, you're not going back anywhere. You go forward, up, protect his face, you see? Draw it to the side and straight forward. Forward, forward. So if there's any backward movements, that. Can you see any backward move? Keep in proportion to my nose and my cheekbones. So you go back. Am I coming back before I go forward? I'm not coming back before I go forward ever. See? Here's my telegraph. There's no. See? I'm not going, oh, I'm going to hit ya. I'm just going, bang, if I can hit ya. See? Right, anyway, that's gone a fair bit longer than what I mean to do, but so you get that. So if I've got this skill, I've got this ability, I've got this strength, I've got this robust fitness and strength, right? Then I can't be going out and annihilating people with that. If I do that, I mean, if I need to protect myself, then it's like, please, I don't want to fight. Take 3 steps back, step up over the curb, the person come around trying to flank me, suddenly they both stand next to each other with one in front of each other, so I'm ready to just walk straight through. First one gone, second one gone. Walk in a straight line, so we do carve around. Line them all up in the straight line, just go one through the other. Straight through a lot of them. If there's 7 of them, or 11 of them circling anything, you start turning a circle, find the ringleader, bring them around, line them all up one after another, and just start going straight through them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You finish every single one of them. Finish every single one of them. You want to finish. 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 You're all right, mate. Finish. How's the serenity, eh? Right, so that's their job to do that. We come down this industrial yard. The caretaker, I've got to do a bit of work on. They're here to protect the place, you see. That's what their job is. And they know that this place here, there's bloody feral cats in here, and you get foxes, and you get people coming down here one part, you get all kinds of strange people coming around the place, you see. So we have this sphere of influence that the surroundings, which have been a very dark place. It used to be a very dark place, not anymore. Now it's a good vibe, it's a good energy around here, you see. It's a lot more like the dreaming, you see. So that's what my sphere of influence has had. I'm sure that I've had a lot of pacifying effect. Plus the fact that I find myself the target of very intense police surveillance for quite a few years now, because I've been an inventor and just been a very interesting bloke and just going places not even bloody feral goats could get, but I can get there. And so like, the drones following me around. How the hell did that bastard get up that bloody cliff face? Trick is, you make rope out of your own hair. That's how you do it. Then you go 1, 2, 3, pull, twist back the other way, or fold back the other way. So I've only got one hand. So 1, 2, 3, and you fold it back the other one over the other side, so it does a loop like a braid. And then you go 1, 2, 3, fold the other one back over the other side, so it does like a braid. 1, 2, 3, and you do that a long time. It takes you a bloody long time, but a lot stronger than nylon rope, even when burning. Hair, you make a decent rope out of hair, same thickness as nylon rope, like that. And then if it goes on hot coals, the nylon rope just bang, it's gone. But your hair will last about 40 seconds or so, which means the difference between life and death. I can tell you that much, mate. Anyway, that might be another reason why the place is a lot safer as well, because you're seeing eye from above sees everything. I tell you what, I'm not bloody safe. I know. I feel safe. I feel very safe everywhere I go. Very safe. But you know, they're doing a great job. they're not the ones that I'll complain to the police minister about. I'm always congratulating the police minister on the professionalism of those ones that are controlling those things and all overseeing. Yeah, just little things like this, you know, just incidentally, if you're trying to wonder like that. See, when you get something like this, so see what I got here. Now this is broken, but what happens is it's extremely hot right there compared to everywhere else. And when the gas bottle's a lot fuller, then that's like a hell of a blowtorch. Like that is one serious bloody blowtorch. And just having that means I can change the temperature of things exponentially quicker than any other kitchen. I had this in the outside camp, and it was raining a little while ago, so I brought it in. There was these bugs in the trees running down. So that in itself, the ability to change the temperature of something, like you get a pot or something and cooking something for the dogs, and just being able to change the temperature like that, that in itself brings a lot of attention. It's like, what the hell is that guy doing? And you know, if it's real late at night, you know, now if you grab a rabbit or something like that, see my dogs, they sort of get a little bit spoiled because they go out and do therapy work with people that bloody part of the therapy for human beings is spoiling the bloody dogs. So then they go and catch a bloody rabbit under the ground, they drag it back up above ground, and then they want me to cut it up and cook it for them. Go figure. Anyway, that's enough for today. So I wish you as well a beautiful weekend. It's a beautiful day. I didn't mean to be inside for so long, actually. So this is what we do, you know, take a moment. Quiet. Still. They're two most valuable things. And then all the qigong and everything that I might teach is all about controlling yourself. So if you get into a fight, if you know how to fight, you get into a fight and you hurt the other person, and you could have just done something else and didn't hurt them, then you lost that fight. Remember that. All right, cheerio.